Pikachu?
Hey anime fans, welcome to the Anime Club with your hosts Josh Sanchez and Isaiah Dunn.
Pikachu?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Anime Club episode. What is this? Episode 5 now?
Yes, I believe so.
Episode 5. I am your host Isaiah, and I'm also here with my co-host Josh. Josh, how are you doing?
Oh man, I'm doing well tonight. I've been looking forward to doing a Pokemon podcast, and actually, this is our 5th time that we've live streamed it. But this is actually episode number 6 overall because we recorded like a test one, just like talking about like some animes we're going to talk about and stuff. And man, I can't believe it, man. It's already been a month's worth of podcast for the Anime Club, so it's been fun. And also, this past week, I did create a website for the Anime Club. I'll make sure to send you the link, Isaiah, so that way you can put it in the show notes and stuff like that. So all you got to do is just tune in there and click on the link, and the Spotify link's on there, YouTube channel's on there. So very excited.
For anyone who is watching this video, if it is not up now, it will be up afterwards. But yeah, check the description. I will have the link to the website as well as the social media pages and all that fun stuff. So just keep a lookout for all of that, and also keep like, comment, subscribe, follow on all of our social media and stuff, because the support definitely helps us keep running this stuff. But yeah, so today it's still anime, but at the same time, it's also video game incorporated a little bit. We are here tonight to talk about Pokemon. Now, Pokemon as the anime is going through a lot of different variations over the years, but we are just here to talk about it as a whole. Me and Josh are extremely huge Pokemon fans. Josh, what's your history with Pokemon?
Oh man, Pokemon, we got to go all the way back to, I believe, I started around when it was Leaf Green, and I played those games. That was like my first couple games. Now, like, I was bored one day, and I went to like the farmer's market around here, and I was like, you know what? Like, let's buy Gold, Red, and Blue. Let's try it out. And I absolutely love those games too. Pokemon has been pretty much like my whole childhood. And the fact that for our first time, it's transitions perfectly. The fact that they're remaking the Sinnoh League, I'm so excited. I literally jumped up and down. I literally took out all the money. I took out some money out of my savings account, and I was like, all right, here, just take my damn money. Like, here you go. Here's $120. I want to buy the Legends game, the Legend of
Legend of Arceus.
Yes, of Arceus. And then also I'm going to get, I know me and you've been talking. I don't know if you're going to get Diamond or I'm going to get Pearl, but
we'll figure it out. I'm probably going to get Pearl. We just need to be able to trade each other the exclusives, and we'll be fine.
Yeah, of course. So,
and even with the anime, just to keep it in that spectrum as well, it's like the anime, oh my gosh, it's come such a far way from the movies and the merchandise and all this stuff. Who doesn't know Ash Ketchum? Who doesn't know Pikachu? Brock, Misty, May, all those people. So, Pokemon as a whole is a big deal, but it's far from just anime. It's literally just honestly probably one of the most profitable titles out there when you talk about things like this. But yeah, so Josh, what is our first thing that we're going to be talking about in regards to Pokemon?
Yeah, so for our topics today, we were going to start with like the Sinnoh remakes. And then we're going to transition to our ranking the Pokemon starters. We're going to rank them. I was thinking, since last week we did for My Hero Academia, we talked about like likeness and stuff. I was thinking we can combine all of the evolutions for the starters as well, and actually like give you guys like based off of power, overall character of the starter. And I know me and you have been playing a lot of the games, and even connecting to the anime. Ash Ketchum finally did win a championship. Finally won one. So
he was 10 years old for God knows how long. So
yeah,
okay.
That was the longest year of his life. But and then we're gonna end with what's our favorite Pokemon and why. So for the first topic, Isaiah, how are you feeling? I know I talked about it a little bit to start the show, but when you first heard about the Sinnoh remakes, what was your first reaction?
Oh, I was extremely excited. after Heart Gold and Soul Silver, I think the Sinnoh remake, well, I mean not remakes, but just the Sinnoh region Pokemon as a whole, like those are some of my favorite Pokemon. And I mean, when it comes to Heart Gold and Soul Silver, the only thing that pushed it up there for me to make it like it more than Diamond and Pearl was that, you know, you got the Pokemon following you and all that. So I mean, whatever. But Diamond and Pearl, honestly, it argumentally is probably like one of the best ones. I mean, you can include Platinum in that as well. I don't know if they're going to remake that sometime down the line, but no, I just like the Pokemon that they had at the time. You know, they were experimenting with like animations a little bit, and you know, I just like the designs, and I just like everything about this game, the aesthetic, all that stuff. I don't know, it was just a push in the right direction at the time. So that's my thing when it comes to the Sinnoh remakes. I'm looking forward to them.
Yeah, I honestly I couldn't agree with you more with the Sinnoh remakes. Again, like I already mentioned it, like when I first heard the news, I already took my money out. I'm already ready to buy it and stuff. This was really one of those games. I believe it was like the first game ever where you could like import Gen 3 Pokemon and I believe Gen 2 and stuff into Gen 4 with the Safari.
Mm-hmm.
I forget how it all went because it's been so long ago, but I remember literally hooking up like my Pokemon Gold games through the DS.
Mm-hmm.
And because that was the first game when it switched from Game Boy to the DS. And then you were able to still play Game Boy games as well. So you can import all those Pokemon over there. Now you had to catch them at the Safari range or else you would have been screwed. But yeah, like that really added to the game as well. And just like you said, like even with the Hoenn region remakes with the 3DS, we all knew this was going to come at some point.
Oh yeah,
a lot of people were pissed off last year because they thought, all right, like last year could have been the year, but I mean, fast forward a year later, we finally got them, and this is one of the favorite regions that I've ever played Pokemon with because I remember I forget what the mountain's called, but like the whole region is just really cool. You get the Battle Eater Dialga or Palkia at this mountain and stuff. So I've always been a fan, and this was where my Pokemon love really started to take off. It was Hoenn and Sinnoh for me. Again, because that really hit our generation at home.
Yeah.
We're around like 7, 8, 9, 10 years old playing these games. So like that's really where like my peak hit. And no disrespect to the Pokemon Black and White. They're still good games.
Mm-hmm.
But it just could not, in my opinion, I feel like it could not live to the height that was Diamond and Pearl.
I mean, those games are a little bit easier too. I mean, and sorry to cut you off, but yeah, those games are way easier. Like they basically give you Pokemon for free without any kind of like adversity. So like I get that. Just real quick, because that's your experience with it. I don't know if I said this before, but when I was younger, I wasn't allowed to play video games. You know what I'm saying? So my experience with this was like a lot different because when it came to Pokemon, like if I wanted to play it, I would have to go down to my neighbor's house and knock it out in like a couple hours, or like basically spend the day there, beat the game, not really hang out with them, just play their video games or whatever. And then I'd be like, awesome, like, you know, like I play Pokemon, I beat, I'm the champion, whatever. But you know, since I couldn't have that type of experience with it via game, I would either be watching people play it on YouTube, or I would literally collect the cards. And literally I have like a huge stack. I was such a Pokemon nerd back then. So and just to also point something else out, the big thing with this region, I think the legendaries specifically were like a big part, because I mean, yeah, other than like maybe what Groudon and Kyogre, like honestly, like they were, all the other like legendaries were kind of small, right? So this one was like really like bringing like this Godzilla almost aesthetic to it, where you have like these huge god like representatives type Pokemon, like the Arceus and Giratina and Palkia, Dialga, and you're just like, wow, you know, like it really set the bar when it came to legendaries, you know, like a legendary controlling time and space and all this stuff. Like the legendaries today, they can never, you know, like they're just like woodland creatures now. So I mean, you know, I think this is, you know, this really set the bar when it comes to Pokemon games and just the series as a whole.
Yeah, I honestly I agree with every single point that you made. Again, like The fact that the legendaries represented time and space as well. So, I mean, you pretty much hit it on the nail of the nail in the coffin. And I know for this next topic, we're going to rank all the starters. It's probably going to take majority of the time. We don't know how the rankings go here. So I definitely think we should get started with this now. I can honestly talk on and on about like the Sinnoh region, the Hoenn region. So, I mean, and we'll get into more of that talk with the starters as well, because I completely agree with you when it comes to Heart Gold and Soul Silver being right up there as one of the best. But man, Pokemon Emerald. Oh man, I could go on and on. I'm sorry, but yeah, so we can transition to this next topic, Isaiah.
All right, so
starters for you guys.
Here's a tier list, like usual. I mean, we're ranking from S to F, and we have how many starters? Oh my gosh, what? A lot of stars. I'm not going to count all of them, but we have a lot of stars. All of them, all the way up to the most recent game, Sword and Shield. So, literally, the only one that could be classified as a technicality is Eevee, since they had Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. But we discussed beforehand, and we were like, why not? I mean, we're just going to let it rock. But if anyone discredits Eevee at the end of this podcast and is like I don't count Eevee as a starter, kudos to you. I completely hear you. Like I'm indifferent about it. So it is what it is. Josh, so we were talking about this beforehand. The previous ones we were ranking these on power scaling, but it's kind of objectified because it's like power scaling with Pokemon is going to be hard because it's on a term. Everyone trains their Pokemon different, and then the My Hero one we did it based off of like likeness and stuff. So how did we discuss on how we wanted to do this one?
Yeah, for this one, it's going to be tough because just like you said, when it comes to like power and stuff, it all depends on the trainer as well. Like what type of trainer are you? So I definitely think we should go off of like overall character when it comes to all these Pokemon. We can even talk about design. We can talk about like, all right, like what was your experience playing with them in game? Like, were they like tough? Were they a very good like battle companion, or did they really struggle and you had to catch other strong Pokemon to complement the team? So, I mean, like we can mix in and rank that way instead of like just strictly power. Because I know some of these designs as well for the Pokemon, a lot of people have like huge question marks with. So we can do that as well. And we'll just have the conversation and we'll just see how it goes at this point.
All right. Now, one more question. They're not in order here, right? So, do we want to do it generation by generation? Or do you just want to go with the way that has it? Like,
whatever's easiest for you. If you think like going generation by generation is a better way to like organize them,
yeah,
then I'm here for it. So.
Right.
Yeah, so whatever's easier. I know definitely because again, we have to memorize we have to talk about like over 25 Pokemon or around that range. So yeah, dude, we can definitely go from Gen 1 all the way to Gen 8. So
all right.
And
so,
it's gonna be tough.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be very tough. But all right, so the first three that started it all: Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle. We can start with Bulbasaur first. Josh, I know you are. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but you seem like a big turtle Pokemon user. You like. I mean, that's not even like a type. What the heck? But you like Pokemon that are designed after turtles. I know you. But I mean, that's your. I also see you using a lot of grass starters. So, what's your opinions on Bulbasaur?
Yeah, Bulbasaur is probably. Man, I would put it right up there. It's definitely goated for me. Honestly, all three of these starters, and I know we'll talk about them in a second. I would definitely you can make a case for all three of them being S tier. But what made Bulbasaur so great is he's a grass, and he starts out as a grass type in some games, but I know in the new games he's grass and poison. But when he evolves into Venusaur, you have this grass poison type where I believe he learns Sleep Powder as well. And if you know Sleep Powder, that move, you can go up against fire types. You can go up against any type. You can put them to sleep. except poison. But you can put them to sleep, and then that's when you can switch out and put in your another guy that's favorable matchup or whatever. So Bulbasaur is definitely one of my favorite Pokemon, and definitely this is the one generation where you could make a case again for all three of these guys. Because I know, and we'll get into it later, like some generations, it's strictly like, all right, like, yeah, I'm going to go fire here, I'm going to go water here. But in Gen 1, you can literally go for all three of these guys. But yeah, that's what makes Bulbasaur so great, though, is the grass poison. Because it cuts, because normal grass types have like at least 8 weaknesses, or they have like so many weaknesses. So when you add that poison type, it cuts half of those. So I mean, you can't go wrong with Bulbasaur, and even in the anime too. Like Ash's Bulbasaur was definitely dope. He was definitely tough, and again, like his Vine Whip, Solar Beam, Sleep Powder, even the poison moves that you can learn. So Bulbasaur for me, I definitely would put either top of A or S tier. All depends on how you feel about him.
So I feel like this is going to be an interesting podcast, because I feel like you're going to be the stats guy and I'm going to be the design guy, right? One thing I also will factor is that what level it takes for them to evolve. So I'm actually, that's interesting. So 1632, okay, whatever, that's generic. Design wise, Bulbasaur, interesting. I mean, he has his plan on his back. I mean, I don't know what he's supposed to be. I guess some sort of frog or something. I don't know. But design wise, I think Ivysaur specifically is probably one of my favorites. I love Ivysaur, the way he looks at me. I see, if you ever play Smash Brothers, they put him in Smash Brothers because he looks that good. So, I love Ivysaur. I think that's going to boost Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur, I just like Bulbasaur. I named one of my Instagram meme pages based off of Bulbasaur. I love him. You know what? I'm going to agree with you. I think, I'm going to say, I want to put him in S, but I'm very curious on how I'm going to rank some of these other people. So how about let's do top A right now, and I can honestly see me putting him in S later.
Agreed.
But yeah, I'm down for that. So Bulbasaur will be top A for now, just to start us off. So Josh, what's your stats on Charmander?
Yeah, so Charmander, obviously we all know his final form. Even Charmeleon is a very good form. Charizard is the iconic Ash Ketchum Pokemon. When you think of Ash in Generation 1, first season for Pokemon, you think of his Charizard and how like he was unable to like he didn't really get on the page with Ash because Ash wasn't a good enough trainer. But Charizard is an absolute beast, and even his Ultra form, he turns into fire and dragon type too. So I think it was his X form. His Y form, it's the same fire and flying. And that literally leads to my next point. When he evolved into the Charizard, I honestly think, in my opinion, where Pokemon messed him up, or messed up Charmander and Charizard and stuff, they should have made him a fire and dragon type from the beginning.
Yeah.
Not a fire and flying type. Because when you look at Charizard, you're like, yeah, that is a dragon.
He's literally a dragon. He's a lizard.
Yeah, I know. He's like a big giant. He's a dragon. And the fact that they made him fire and flying, but that's the only problem I really had with Charizard. Obviously, this is probably my favorite starter in Gen 1. Because again, like he can learn fly. In the old games, you can use him to fly around the maps and stuff. And then also knowing flamethrower, overheat, fire blitz. That's another new move that a lot of the fire types have. Such a cheat code.
Yeah.
And then he can also learn some dragon moves as well, like dragon breath. He should have been a dragon type. I don't get it.
He honestly should have. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would probably put Charmander at definitely S tier for me.
So I am a huge Charizard fan. I think Charizard is honestly one of the most recognizable commercialized mascots when it comes to Pokemon. You'd be shocked. There are a lot, based off of the conversations I've had, there is a lot of Charmander, Charizard, all of that. They hate him. They hate Charizard because they think he's so overrated. But I realize the people who think that are just fans of other starters, and they're just jealous that Charizard is so cool. Literally, this is the only starter that has, and correct me if I'm wrong, other than Pokemon, I think it's only him and Mewtwo, but starter wise, I think Charizard is the only one that has like 2 different forms, Mega Evolution forms.
Yes.
Like that right there. And the designs are lit, bro. I forget which one this is, but this one, fire, like literally. I mean, blue
Absolute
fire.
fire.
Oh my gosh, I love it so much. I love Charmeleon. It was always my favorite design, just because he's just red, and for some reason he's different from the others. Okay, whatever. But Pokemon loves to make Charmander, in his evolution line just look beastly. I love Charmander. I think it gets way too much hate. I know people are jealous that it's so iconic, but I'm sorry. Charmander, I agree with you, Josh, is an S and deserves to be an S. I'm not saying Bulbasaur is trash, because I think I'm going to move him up to S as well, but we will see. But I love Charmander.
Yeah.
So next, Josh, is Squirtle. What's your thoughts on Squirtle?
Yeah, now I got to remove personal bias because turtles are my favorite animal. I don't know why. I just really click with them a lot. Squirtle, in my opinion, I definitely see why a lot of people say out of the 3 between Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle is the one where a lot of people will choose less. But again, like you're choosing 3 goats. Like this is like the original like Pokemon game.
Actually, real quick to cut you off. Yeah, he's S. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Bulbasaur S. The only starter that maybe could be A is Squirtle, just because I love the War Turtle design. Now, like I do love War Turtle's design, and also Blastoise learning Skull Bash as well. That was one of the original like OP moves, and he's a defensive Pokemon. So I definitely like it takes like a different type of trainer. Like when you think of like the casual Pokemon trainer, they're going to go for offense. They're going to go for some like tactical moves. That's what you get from Bulbasaur, offense from Charizard and stuff. With Blastoise, he's not really an offensive powered guy. Now, Hydro Pump is dope. Skull Bash is dope, but Skull Bash is a 2-turn move. So like it does raise his defense up, like as like he waits to charge for Skull Bash. But like it takes a different type of trainer to like Blastoise. But I'm one of those fans. I love Blastoise. I love Squirtle. And out of the 3 forms, War Turtle to me, design wise, is awesome. I remember when I first started playing Pokemon, I did not evolve my War Turtle until like level like 40 because I love the design so much. I was like, I don't want it to go to Blastoise right now. I want to keep the design for War Turtle. So, and also the name like War Turtle, like that's so dope. So Squirtle for me, I would put top of A, maybe make a case for S, but I definitely think I understand why a lot of people would go Charmander and Bulbasaur ahead of him in Gen 1 games. But what do you think, Isaiah?
So I agree with everything you're saying. I think Squirtle, in comparison to all 3, so Charmander, I like Charmeleon, I like his Mega Evolution, I like Charizard. I don't really care for the Charmander design. And then Bulbasaur and then Ivysaur, but I don't really care for Venusaur, and I don't really care for Mega Venusaur. I think Mega Venusaur is ugly. But I'm gonna take Mega Evolutions out the question because they are still new. But Squirtle, it's regular main line. I think all 3 of them look so good. Squirtle, War Turtle, Blastoise, they're such a tank. Just it's a turtle, so the main premise is the shell and just being big and strong. I just love the way that they made it look. I love that they added cannons on a Blastoise, so when you're literally using Hydro Cannon or Hydro Pump, it just adds more effect to it. And even putting the anime in reference, Blastoise was Gary's Pokemon. Like Blastoise, Ash's rival, was literally like that was his starter, and the way he used Blastoise was so intense in the Pokemon leagues and stuff. He added to the cocky factor that Gary had because it was just such a mighty Pokemon. I just love Squirtle. I love Wartortle. Wartortle, honestly, one of the best evolution designs as well. I completely agree with that. Like, honestly, like Charmeleon, Ivysaur, and Wartortle. Oh, they look so good. But yeah, I agree with you. I'm gonna have to put Squirtle top of S. Honestly, like, I love Squirtle so much. Deserves so much respect. But yeah, Josh, do you agree with Squirtle being ahead of those two?
I mean, I'm a turtle guy, so I definitely would, but I definitely feel like a lot of people would put Squirtle behind them too, just because, again, it all depends on how you are as a trainer. But the fact that you talked about Gary as well, like that was his starting Pokemon as well. You got to put him up there on top of the list. All three of those starters are S tier, and you can make a case for either one. So I would keep him up there for I honestly I don't have a problem with the list. I've really thinking about it and talking about it, man. Man, this is awesome.
All right, so next we're going to move to Generation 2. This is the Heart Gold, Soul Silver era. Yeah, honestly, like I said, Johto, I think this is my favorite era of Pokemon. So this is going to be hard for me, but let's just get into it. So the first one is Cyndaquil. Cyndaquil. Oh, well, you know what? Let me pull up the picture, so I'm gonna let you talk, and then we'll get into that.
Yeah, honestly, out of the three, I love Cyndaquil the best. Just because like in the beginning, it's crazy. In the beginning, like you see like this shy, timid Cyndaquil, but then when he evolves into
Lava.
Yeah, Kuwava, and then also Triplosion.
Typhlosion.
Yeah, I know it was close.
Yeah.
Like look at Cyndaquil when he first starts out to where Cyndaquil ends. Like that shows so much growth.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like Cyndaquil's final evolution, he's so OP offensive. Again, Nose Flamethrower can also learn a couple fighting moves as well, like Brick Break and stuff.
Yeah.
I definitely like it. I like the fire design too. Like when like Cyndaquil and all them, they really get going. You really see the flame, very similar to Charmander's flame as well and Charizard's flame. Mm-hmm. So I honestly think out of the three, I would go Cyndaquil at the top just because I love Cyndaquil. I can make a case for S or also top of A for Cyndaquil. But what are you feeling, Isaiah?
So I love Cyndaquil. Just to get into it, I love all three of them, Quilava and Typhlosion too. And I think the reason that just design wise, I love them is because they got the fire coming out of their back. Like it just looks so cool. Like it looks like he has like a mohawk right here, you know. I love Cyndaquil. Now in the mainline games, they don't really put the fire there anymore, so they just kind of look kind of whack with the 3D models. I hate that. Like, yeah, we get the movement, but they just look so tacky. Because like that's the thing. Like, what fire blasting out of their necks and stuff. But yeah, as well, I didn't even know. I don't know if you knew this, but Cyndaquil is actually a mouse. I did not know that. So I was like, okay, interesting. Cyndaquil, honestly, I enjoy Cyndaquil more than Charmander, but I don't enjoy Cyndaquil more than Bulbasaur. So I do think that Cyndaquil should be a top A. Fun Pokemon though. I think I've picked Cyndaquil or Chikorita the most every time I replay this game. Probably Cyndaquil the most though. I love Cyndaquil. I will put him top A as well.
Yeah, I completely agree. Just again, like his final form is so dope. I love.
Typhlosion.
Typhlosion is so awesome.
Anime reference as well, since we gotta keep it anime too.
Yeah, you're right.
Ethan, what was it? Pokemon. What was that? They did like a little one-off. It was Pokemon Heroes or something, but you know that the main character Ethan, who you play as in Heart Gold and Soul Silver with the backwards hat and everything. In the anime, he starts off with the Typhlosion and all this stuff, and it was just so dope. And honestly, I enjoyed him more than I enjoyed Ash. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry. And even in the Pokemon movie when they had Celebi and all that stuff, Ash actually battles him at the beginning of that movie. So, you know,
snap, that's cool.
Fun fact. But next is Chikorita. Josh, what's up with Chikorita?
See, now it's tough because Chikorita, I know you're a big Chikorita fan, and also I also know, like, design wise, like Chikorita I definitely think design wise, Chikorita is actually pretty dope. But when it comes to like power and stuff, Chikorita so far out of Generation 1 and Generation 2 starters, Chikorita, like power wise, is not really like that good power wise. Now with Chikorita, again, it takes a different type of trainer to understand Chikorita. Where like, because Chikorita it can know poison powder. It does not know sleep powder, I believe, but I have to double check that on top of my head. But also, like, you can teach a body slam as well. So like, I mean, the moves are there, but like for Chikorita though, the offense and defensive bases, like the stats really hurt you. So again, like, you really got to be smart when you have Chikorita. I remember through personal reference, like I've tried all three of these starters on games and stuff, and I had the most tough time with Chikorita because I had to develop a more stronger team around her because Chikorita was struggling fighting like one-on-one. Because again, it's just a simple grass type. And when you're a simple grass type, you have so many weaknesses. It's not like fire where it's just rock, ground, and water, or water types when it's just electric and grass. Like when you have a strictly grass type, not a grass and poison like Bulbasaur, you're going to have ice as a weakness, poison as a weakness, fire as a weakness, flying as a weakness, bug as a weakness. I know I'm forgetting others off the top of my head, but you get my point. Like, there's just so many weaknesses that you have to really be smart when you have Chikorita as your starter. But I think design-wise, I definitely would put it top of B, even bottom A. I can make a case for. I mean, I love all the Pokemon, so I am a little bit biased, but I would put Chikorita top of B for now, but if I can hear your argument, I can probably move him up to A tier.
So you are right. Chikorita is my favorite grass starter, but I will remove bias like you remove bias. So if we want to keep it 100, to talk about your claim with, it feels like this is the hardest one to start out of the three. Chikorita in Heart Gold Soul Silver, it does have a hard time because the first gym is a flying gym, and then the second gym is a bug gym, and grass doesn't typically do well against those types. So it's almost like if you want to take the hard grind route when it comes to Pokemon, Heart Gold Soul Silver, you take Chikorita. Despite, like, well, real quick, just to knock it out, it looks awesome. I love all three designs. Just it's like a dinosaur with like leaves on it. So yeah, I love them. I love Bayleaf the most, by the way. But yeah, it's definitely hard to train with Chikorita. It's going to take the longest time. But with that being said, when you do master it and you do get used to how this Pokemon works and you get past those two gyms, it's kind of smooth sailing after that for me. It's you really don't use Chikorita or Bayleaf or Meganium as like an offensive type. It's one of those Pokemon that like you kind of wait it out with until you get the moves like Magical Leaf or Razor Leaf or Vine Whip and all that stuff. And it's like the real meat and bones of this is when you get that Leech Seed and Sunspore and Leech Life, like you get all those moves that you can just take life away without having to like when you get Leech Seed and then you can just annoy your opponent and it just keeps taking life away while you attack it. That's the best part because I love getting on people's nerves when I use them. But like you said.
Oh yeah, my fault. Yeah, and then my fault to cut you off. But yeah, also to add to your point, like Reflect as well.
Yes,
another attack Chikorita knows that like what Reflect does is it limits the physical attacks to it. So like that way, like it can take more damage than it normally would. So that's just to add to your point, but you can continue. My fault.
Oh no, you're good. But yeah, it definitely I do think that it brings it down a little bit that it takes so long just to get good with this Pokemon, just because of the way that the games are structured. You have to grind for real. You have to build around this Pokemon instead of you go with the Cyndaquil or a Totodile, but primarily Cyndaquil. And in that game at the beginning, it's so easy to beat the first few gyms because it's like you don't even need to catch another Pokemon. You can just knock out the trainers' teams with like one Pokemon. Like honestly, it's so easy. But yeah, I think I want to put it in A, but after talking about it, I might have to put it in B just because it might bring it down a little bit from the game aspect. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm starting to agree with you. I agree with you.
Okay, yeah. And I mean, as we rank and we'll figure out more,
Yeah.
in more detail, we'll definitely see. Oh
An
man,
anime fun fact real quick, because I gotta keep doing that.
of course.
Anime fun fact, Ash caught a Chikorita, and it was more so like a diva and all this stuff, but it was very funny to see. I remember the episode where it was in a Meganium at the time, and it fell in love with the Tropius. No. Ash had a Sceptile and it fell in love with the Meganium, but the Meganium was in love with the Tropius, and the Sceptile and the Tropius started fighting, and it blew up. But yeah, anyway, there's a little fun fact about Chikorita. Josh, next is Totodile. What's up with Totodile?
Oh man, Totodile is definitely interesting because you can teach it a lot of ice moves as well. And also, the best move for Alligator is, I believe, is like Crunch, because once you learn Crunch as well, like that's like that dark move, and then you can teach him a lot of like physical moves like Brick Break, Ice Punch, not Fire Punch, but I believe it can learn Electric Punch as well. I remember playing it a while ago. That's like one of the cheat codes for Alligator has, but it is just a strictly water type. And out of the three, I definitely would put Alligator at A tier. Now, I think design wise, like I never really was a fan of Alligator's second form.
Oh, you don't like Crocodile?
Yeah, I'm not really a Crocodile guy. Now Alligator is definitely dope. But I didn't as a kid, I remember playing this stuff. I did not like Crocodile. It didn't vibe for me. It just didn't vibe for me. He looks like an egg with spikes. Like I don't want to be mean, but I mean that's what I first thought. Like I remember playing because I played with Cyndaquil. I liked Cyndaquil's second form better than Totodile's, but I definitely would put Totodile at A tier. I would put him ahead of Chikorita just because, again, of all the moves you can teach him, and design wise, I do love Alligator the most. So, I mean, it's definitely tough because, again, with Alligator, you can learn like the different moves, like with the punches and stuff. So you can do the same thing with Typhlosion as well. So it's another one too. So that's why I like those two starters ahead of Chikorita. But what are you feeling, Isaiah?
So I really like the way Totodile and Crocodile looks. I think Alligator's so ugly, but I mean, it's okay. Like as a player, the way that like you can go off with Alligator, like its offensive capabilities if you use it correctly. Oh my gosh, such a monster. Even it looks intimidating too, even in the anime. Like I remember Ash always did this thing which I hated, that he will always have a starter or two that he just didn't level up. Like I'm like, okay, he just kept Totodile the entire time. I was like, that's stupid, but okay. But imagine if Ash evolved it to a Alligator, it would have been crazy. But he still had to use a Leer in the Pokemon League. Let me stop. But anyway, yeah, I like Totodile. I think I like the way, even in the anime, how it was like always biting Ash and acting crazy, and like its laugh or sound it made was like, it sounded like a Donald Duck almost. I don't know. It was funny to watch though. It was fun in the show. In the game, I think I've, out of the three of them, I've selected Totodile like once, and I just didn't go back to it just because I think I enjoyed Cyndaquil and Chikorita more. I personally will put it behind Chikorita, but I also see the argument for A. So ultimately, I'll let you decide where we're going to put it.
What we can do for a compromise, instead of putting Totodile at A, we can put him top of B.
Okay, that's fair.
And like you can make your case for either him or Chikorita.
Okay.
Again, I like really thinking about it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like Alligator, definitely moods wise and power wise, he's cool, but like design wise, I don't know what the hell you're looking.
It's just there. Like I don't know. It's missing something. It's nothing. It's just like the smallest thing. I don't know what it is. It's just missing like pizzazz or something. I don't know.
No, I definitely agree, because I definitely feel like the Gen 2 Pokemon, like you had Gen 1, and we just described Gen 1. And then Gen 2 was like I feel like Gen 2 deserves more love than it gets, definitely. But like, I definitely feel like a lot of people were like, Gen 1 was so awesome that Gen 2 will just never compete on Gen 1's level. So I definitely think a lot of the starters took a little heat in terms of like Totodile as well and Chikorita too. But I definitely think Cyndaquil is where I agree though. I think Cyndaquil is the best, like overall wise,
Yeah.
Gen 2 starter. So
All right. So next we're going to move into Gen 3, the Hoenn region. Iconic, honestly. I can't wait to break these down. But so the first one is Trico. Josh, what is your opinion on Trico?
oh man, my love for all three of these starters is that if we could do like Gen 1 versus Gen 2 versus Gen 3, I would put Gen 3 so far right behind Gen 1. No disrespect to Gen 2. No disrespect. Heart Gold, Soul Silver, probably the best video game out of the whole Pokemon series because, again, you get to go to 2 regions and stuff. But, man, Trico, anime-wise, I loved Ash's Sceptile.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That was probably one of my favorite Pokemon. And overall, though, I really didn't like Trico as a starter, but I love Grovyle and I love Sceptile.
I completely agree with that.
Like Trico, I'm like, but Grovyle, Sceptile, love them to death. And then even Sceptile, his new Mega Evolution is a Grass and Dragon type. So and in terms of speed wise, with Grovyle and Sceptile, you always are going to get the first move. They have like the highest speed out of all the starters so far. And now it does take a little bit of heat because it is a grass type, so there is a lot of weaknesses, like I said with Chikorita, and there's no dual type that can counter that. But in terms of design, I love Sceptile, I love Grovyle, and anime wise, man, I loved Ash's Sceptile. So I would put Trico in A tier just because of the weaknesses that like Sceptile and Grovyle have, but I can't put it at B. I can't put any of these starters at B tier because of their impact in the anime and also in the games as well, and also designs too. So I would put Trico behind Cyndaquil at A tier. But what are you thinking?
I might put Trico above Cyndaquil.
Okay, you can. I'm agreement. I was just
oh man, like this was the start where like all 3 starters would be lit, but there would be 1 or 2 that would be like leagues ahead of like one of them. And when we get down to like more of the recent ones, you're definitely going to see that a lot more. But specifically here, like Trico in anime standards was like he was the stuff, man. Like Ashes specifically, he always had like that like grass leak or whatever in his mouth, and he was trying to act like it was a toothpick or something, and it was just so cool. And like I will always freak out and get so hyped when his Grovyle or Sceptile did Leaf Blade. Because when Leaf Blade was so cool. Like we just did the Black Clover podcast recently, and Jack the Ripper always had those blades. It reminded me just of that. It's just like I love Trico. Design wise, Trico's like okay, whatever. But Grovyle honestly looks so cool, and then Sceptile, that's when it's good time. I like that he's like a gecko that like they're still keeping that trend of like keeping like originality with their designs like in this area, and I think the farther we go, we're going to start seeing them stray away from that a little bit, but they kept that originality factor here. I've never selected Trico when I played which game was it? This was Emerald, right?
Yeah, it was Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald.
Yeah. I never real quick, Zach Walsh says Trico above Bulbasaur, it can happen. I can't do that. I can't put him S. But I do think that he is top A material. He's fine. I never picked him, but that doesn't take anything away from him. I mean, to be fair, I'm kind of biased. I've picked Torchic every single time I played these games. So I mean, okay. But Trico, honestly, I think out of these 3 would be like the top of them. But that goes into Torchic, where it could be another discussion. So we'll see. What's your breakdown on Torchic, Josh?
Oh man, Torchic. all three of these starters are dope. And the reason why I'm going to put Torchic, my fault, ahead of Trico is because Blaziken was the first ever fire fighting type starter. And for those who don't understand like the impact, like, yeah, you got more weaknesses for Blaziken. Like it added psychic and it also added flying as a weakness and then added to the fire. But other than that problems, Blaziken in terms of speed and in terms of attack, he could one shot pretty much anybody. And in the fact that, and I love Combustion. Oh my gosh. Like all three of the forms I really like. And anime wise, the fight between what's her name? Oh my goodness. Was it? Yes. Yeah. May's Blaziken and Ash's Sceptile. Yeah. Definitely top 5 Pokemon animated fights. Well, not top 5, probably top 10 because there's so many Pokemon fights. But yeah, like just seeing those two starters go at it as well. I also agree with you. I out of the 3 starters, obviously the smart choice was Mudkip. We'll get into Mudkip next. But design-wise, there was just something about Torchic that I just fell in love with. And again, that fire fighting type. Because I know a lot of fans are like, hey, like, can we finally get something like that? And just like I mentioned, like Blaziken, Blaze Kick is such a cheat code of an attack. I'm trying to think of others. I know Overheat. He can also learn close combat as well, and all those legit fighting moves that are just so broken offensively. So Torchic's definitely an offensive Pokemon. Don't get me wrong, but I would put it ahead of Trico just because, again, Grass type has just so many weaknesses. And Blaziken, I love Blaziken. That's definitely one of my favorites. I forget. Wasn't Ash? Didn't Ash's Charizard get murked by a Blaziken?
I think he did.
One of his Pokemon got murked by a Blaziken, and then he was like, "Oh, where did the Blaziken come from?" And they're like, "The Hoenn region." All right, now I got to go to the Hoenn region and see what's up. So, overall impact, I would put Torchic ahead of Trico. I don't know about on top of S tier, but I would put him at top of A.
Okay.
I can make it though.
I think Torchic and Trico for me will be equal, so I'm fine with either or. So I'll put them at the top of here. I know there's a lot of fire starter haters out there. I'm gonna keep saying this because people think that the water and grass don't get respect. Shut up. Torchic is lit. Now for design wise, I mean, I love all 3 of them. I don't really care for the Mega Evolution, but okay, whatever. I love all 3 of them, especially Combustion. I thought Combustion looks so cool. But even in the video game stance, because you spoke about the anime already, in the video game stance, people have been like wondering why Sceptile and Blaziken haven't been put in Smash Brothers yet. Like they put Greninja and Charizard and Ivysaur and Squirtle. They're like, we need another grass starter. Like, where's Sceptile? Or like Blaziken is very commercialized as well. Like where are these 2 at? They're too like they're just so cool. Like I don't know what they were thinking when they came into this era of Pokemon, but they did something right because like these are just like the badass like starters. Like I like them. I'm trying to think. Is Torchic the first one that I mean? Obviously, Charizard got flying as another type later down the road, but originally isn't Torchic? I mean, well, technically Blaziken, but like, isn't this the first one to really get like start off with like 2 types?
Yeah, now I know Gen 1, they started it with Charmander and Bulbasaur because Bulbasaur grass.
Was that original though?
Yeah,
or was that remake?
Yeah, I know Charmander was fire and Charizard was definitely fire and flying.
Okay.
But I know Torchic was the original because we'll get into Sinnoh region next. But Torchic was the original fire fighting type because a lot of people were I remember at the time, so many people were like, "Can we get a fire?" Because fire and fighting, when you think of people that fight a lot, like they're definitely passionate, in your face type of people. So they're like, "Why can't we have a fire fighting type?" So yeah, I definitely would put Torchic at A tier.
I hope you guys are enjoying our nerding about Torchic and Trico. Sorry. Anyway, Mudkip, So I'm gonna let you talk about it. So Mudkip, what's your thoughts on him?
I mean, Mudkip is always the smartest choice because out of all the starters, Mudkip only has one weakness, and that's grass, because that water ground type combination is definitely tough. But the weakness is a lot of like stats Swampert gets. Like, it really doesn't wow you in terms of like offense and defense, but like again, that one weakness factor plays a huge part. The mega form, I don't like that
He
mega
looks like
form.
Cannonbolt from Ben 10.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I don't care for it.
But I do, design wise, Mudkip out of the 3 starters, I think is the coolest looking.
The other ones are so ugly.
Yes, but then the other forms for Mudkip, like Marshtomp, he's okay. Swampert, he's okay, but like not on the same level as Sceptile and Blaziken. That's what hurt Mudkip. When you see design wise, you see Blaziken, you see Sceptile, and then you see Swampert. You're like, I see why a lot of people would choose those two, but in terms of weaknesses, Mudkip, I would put Mudkip right around there, A tier. I think for the game wise, Mudkip is the smartest choice, and the safe choice if you're just starting out playing video games and stuff. Again, that one weakness, I'm gonna keep repeating myself. That one weakness really matters in battle. So I would put Swampert probably at top of A. But I also can see why you would like Torchic better, or even Trico better than Mudkip. But that's my reasoning for Mudkip. What are you feeling, Isaiah?
You said you would put Mudkip where?
At top of A, maybe even S, just because of that one weakness.
What?
Oh wow! What do you?
I think Mudkip sucks, bro. I mean, like, all right, I guess in the game, like, yeah, okay, it's the smartest choice. I'm hard headed, so I've never selected Mudkip. But yeah, like, I don't want an easy route. Like, I mean, okay, like the only one I've done that with is like Cyndaquil, but I don't want no easy route. I hate Mudkip though. Like, out of all the stars that we've talked about so far, evolution wise, design wise, Mudkip is easily like the weakest. Like, oh, the Pokemon is so ugly. Like, I think Mudkip looks good. Marshtomp, like, what? Real quick, let me pull this back up. What were they thinking when they did this? And then like it looks like it just like I just don't like it. And then this is an abomination right here. What they did with the Mega Evolution, I don't like the way it looks. Like the pop culture wise, it had for a little bit that meme like, oh, do you like Mudkips? And like, yeah, it was funny for a little bit, but it just like, other than that, like even with the anime, because I like to factor that in as well. Like Mudkip was Brock's Pokemon, and the farthest it got, it turned to Marshtomp, but it was just so whack, man. Like,
Yeah,
like I don't know. I don't care like about this one. Like, out of all the water types, maybe other than one, which we will get to later, I think this is probably the lamest, like the second to last lamest water type out of all of them. I cannot stand him. I hate Mudkip, but I'm one person. You said you would put him maybe S. I'm like, okay, I would put him D, but I mean, that's just me.
All right, so I'll meet you in the middle ground. We'll do C. We'll do top of C for Mudkip.
Okay.
Yeah, the only reason why
Mudkip. Now he's not trash because the way you use him in the game, I agree. That's why I didn't put him F. But ugh.
Oh no, I definitely agree. Like out of the 3 starters, Mudkip definitely gets, like, a lot of people are like, I don't really care about Mudkip, but like I'm gonna keep telling you guys, man, that water ground type Pokemon, it's not like the splashes types of Pokemon. Like when you think of water and ground, like Wapert is a water and ground type, and he evolves into Quagsnire. So like, I mean, that's a Gen 2 Pokemon. Like Quagsnire is not really yeah, he's not really like he's kind of boring, but that water ground type combination only having one weakness definitely in video games is good. But I agree though, I'll put him at C tier.
Rookies, I'm sorry. This is Mudkip. It's my favorite of the 3. I hear you. I can't stand him. I'm sorry. I just don't. I'm a hater. It's not. This isn't like a universally agreed on thing. This is just me. I hate Mudkip personally, but
hey, Hey, I see why a lot of people would like Mudkip though. I do. I get the love. I get it. But I agree. Well, I'll meet you in the middle. We'll do top of C because he's definitely not D tier or F tier. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You know what? Next time we do something Pokemon related or something like this, we'll have a fan poll as well, and then we'll incorporate that in our rankings.
Of
And
course.
we'll just even out me, you, and then the fans. So we'll figure it out. But okay, so next we are moving to Generation 4, and that is the Sinnoh region. Love it or hate it, this is probably one of the more popular ones because of the anime. Diamond and Pearl was the honestly probably other than like first gen, like it was a popular era when it came to Pokemon. It ran for a very long time, but they had Diamond and Pearl. They had I don't even remember all the names of the season, but there was 1,000 of them. But Josh, we're going to start off with another turtle. You could talk about Turtwig. What's your thoughts?
Oh man, Turtwig is my favorite starter Pokemon out of, well, I wouldn't say out of all of them, but Turtwig is definitely my favorite Pokemon just because I love Torterra. Now, I do agree. Grottle definitely sucks. Like, I'm sorry. So Turtwig design wise is goated, and Torterra being a grass and ground type. Oh my goodness! Like I absolutely loved it. I choose Turtwig every time I play Pokemon. Again, I skip the Grottle phase. I can't stand Grottle. Grottle is just a normal grass type. He gets beat up a lot. But with Torterra, you can learn Earthquake. You can learn Giga Impact. You can learn Leaf Storm. He's a you can even match him up against fire types because of that ability to have Earthquake. And also Torterra can survive sandstorms as well. You can do a lot of things with Torterra. And that's one of the things that this Gen 4 starters, like they can really combat each other. And then we'll get into that a little bit. But like Torterra being that grass and ground type, now speed-wise, he does take a little bit of a hit. But if you give him a Quick Claw, you can match him up against pretty much any fire type, and he can hit him with Earthquake, and that's one-shot kill right there. So Torterra for me, I know I'm a little biased, but I gotta because of Grottle being so bad, I would put Turtwig in A tier somewhere.
Okay, you said an A.
Yeah, and now wherever you want to put him,
okay,
fine, but I would put him somewhere in A tier because again, like Grottle stinks.
Grottle's the only thing that brings it down. Honestly,
Yes.
It sucks because I would put it in S tier if it wasn't for that. And well, one thing I will say, I think it's cool that the concept with this is like, oh, you got the little leech verse, then it's a bush, and then it's a tree. But like this is so boring. Like, I mean, like what are they doing here? Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah, they messed up with Grottle. They messed up with Grottle big time.
Nah, Torterra definitely is badass. I think all three of these Pokemon, honestly, this is a strong generation when it comes to design. I love all three of their designs. And Turtwig, honestly, I'm trying to think, am I tripping? Like, this is probably, in my opinion, the best designed grass starter. I mean, maybe I love Chikorita personally more design wise, but after that, Turtwig's designs are very strong. In the anime, Ash's one of the few starters that he got all the way to the highest level of evolution. So I mean, kudos to there. Turtwig honestly is awesome defensive tank. I love using him. I've picked him. See, I've always picked grass starters the least because I feel like that's one of the harder choices.
Yeah, a lot of weaknesses.
Exactly, but that doesn't take anything away. Like I actually love Turtwig, and I do agree. I personally would put it top A. Like I'm not gonna lie, I think Turtwig's lit.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I would put him right there at top A. I would put him because I can make a case for either him or Torchic, but I definitely would put him ahead of Trico just because of grass starter wise.
Yeah.
So yeah, I completely agree. I love Turtwig. That's my guy.
So next is Chimchar, Josh.
Oh man. Oh man, this is another one. You can pick your poison between either Chimchar or Turtwig being top of A. Infernape, obviously we know anime wise, Ash's Infernape is iconic. It's right up there with Charizard. Because remember when his Infernape goes berserk mode and that fire just comes out and
yeah.
Oh man, and even design wise, like I definitely feel like Torchic was like the beginning, and then Chimchar was that next level. And I really think that Chimchar, even I forget the second form, but Infernape as well, both are fire.
Monferno.
Yeah, Monferno. Both all the last two are fire and fighting type. And I think they really take that fire and fighting to the next level. So I definitely now I do love Turtwink. I love him a lot, but I would put Chimchar ahead of Turtwink just because again, that Infernape learning close combat, all those dope fighting moves, and also design wise, it's a step up from Torchic. And yeah, I would put Chimchar right there at top A. What are you feeling, Isaiah?
I am going to agree with you. I think, oh my gosh, like Chimchar, so awesome. They keeping the little fire tail thing going. I thought that's funny. Actually, now I'm looking at this, but yeah, I love Monferno and Infernape. Even anime wise, like this is one of the few Pokemon outside of Pikachu that's really gotten like a huge storyline. Like it started off as like this. No, it was Paul.
Yeah, Paul. That's Paul. Man,
I love Paul. He was awesome. Paul was cool, man. Like, well, He wasn't cool. He was horrible. He was abusive. But I like watching him. It was different. And that was a starter. And then he threw it to the side. He was like, "You're weak. Like, I don't want you." Left it to the wild. And then Ash takes him and brings him into his team, and he just becomes such a beast. The fight that you're talking about when Inferno goes like. It was like a Super Saiyan moment almost, like he just goes berserk against Paul's team. So awesome to watch. His eyes turn red. We still don't got an explanation. We can call it like willpower or something. I don't know. But yeah, Chimchar, awesome Pokemon. Honestly, one of the better fire. But like the fire starters are very. Like at least the early ones are very fun design wise. It kind of declines like the more we go down. But yeah, Chimchar, awesome Pokemon. I agree. Top A. And lastly, for Gen 4 is Piplup.
Oh man, this is another one. I think out of the three, very similar to Mudkip, Piplup doesn't really get a lot of love. Empoleon is so dope. The first time I ever played Pokemon Diamond, I did choose Piplup. And man, once you learn Drill Peck, that move is such a cheat code because you can use that against Torterra because flying's a weakness against Torterra. And you can use that against Infernape as well. And again, design-wise, I like it. I like all three. I really love Empoleon design-wise. Dope. And I love like the spikes at the end too. Like this is like a legit dope penguin. And all three of these Gen 4 starters, and I think as we do our rankings and stuff, we might even move a couple of these to like bottom S tier, honestly, just like describing everything and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, Piplup is dope. I love Piplup, even like moves wise. He becomes a water and flying type at the end for Empoleon. No, it's not water flying, it's water and steel. That's what it is. So like that's definitely like you don't really see that combination a lot from starters. And this is, again, that's what really separates this generation from the others. All three starters have a completely, other than Infernape having fire and fighting, they have a completely different dual design. So, or dual elements and stuff. So I really, I would put Piplup, I would put him behind Turtwink, but like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I might even move Chimchar up to S tier and then have Turtwink top of A, and then have Piplup behind Turtwink at 8.
I'm down for that. I might put Chimchar ahead of Bulbasaur.
Yeah,
I'm not going to cat.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I would. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would, because again,
what about Charmander though?
Ooh, that's now in a fight that fire flying would win. No disrespect. No disrespect.
We're taking everything into account, so you're right. But no, I mean, who doesn't want a penguin for a starter Pokemon? Like, just like we were saying, this generation specifically, all three designs are perfect. Like there's nothing they did not miss with the design. I love all three of them. And Empoleon, oh my gosh, like they have the Emperor Penguin thing going on with the crown. And then Piplup, he looks like Mumble from Happy Feet. And then Unfortunately, we never saw Dawn's Piplup evolve because she had the Everstone and it wanted to stay a Piplup. But in the anime, like I think coming out of this generation, Piplup was that marketable starter that like they try to have every single generation. I think this was Piplup. This was Piplup's generation. The merchandise and all that stuff. They love to promote Piplup. Even in the new anime, they just had Piplup come in and stuff. So Piplup's awesome. I love Piplup. I think this is one of the better water types, honestly. So yeah, I'm team Piplup for sure.
Agreed.
So next we are going to be moving into the very controversial world of Unova Generation 5. This is when it starts getting ugly, man. I mean,
Yeah.
well, we're gonna now I will say, this is when, fun fact, this is when I started getting into like ahead of like when they were actually announcing them in Japan before they came to America. I was learning their names. I'm like, ooh, Tsustaja and Mijimaru and I forget what Tepig's real name was in Japan, but now it's Oshawott Snivy. So I'm like, I go back and forth sometimes because I learned them as the Japanese name. So I thought that was really fun. But this is the black and white era. This is when it started going downhill a little bit in game and in anime. I'm not gonna lie. We'll get into it. But the Snivy, Josh, how do you think of what's your thoughts on Snivy?
I can't stand Snivy. I honestly think. Man, I would put Snivy. If there is a Pokemon I would put at F, I would put Snivy there. Even design wise, oh my gosh, if you pull up the design,
I'm getting it right now.
Oh my god, dude. Like Snivy is like black and white was the first black and white was so bad that they had to make a sequel to it in order to build it up again. That's how bad it was. We gotta remember that time. You go from Gen 4 and oh yeah, Empoleon. Yeah, I know. Just talking about that on Twitter. Yeah, we just finished talking about Empoleon. So dope. But you go from that to like, what the hell is this? Like, this is just like a snake. Like, what are you? Like, I've never been a Snivy fan. If there's one Pokemon I would put at F, I would put Snivy there. But if you have a case for it, I would put him at bottom. Put it at bottom of the D. But.
I don't feel strongly about Snivy. Like out of this gen, I'm mid. I don't hate Snivy. I mean, I think Servine is, and then Superior. I think Superior is like probably the best looking out of the three. But I mean, even with that, it's just like anime wise, I don't think Ash's Snivy ever made it out of Snivy. Like this is one of Ash's lazy. This generation. He was so bad. Like he did tour. I think this is his worst Pokemon team. I forget all the people he had, but like this is the worst team that he ever formulated. If you go by like stats, there's like a whole sheet I saw on Twitter before. But yeah, it was just trash. Honestly, I'm sorry. Snivy, out of let me look at the last ones. Maybe only like second. This is like the second to last grass starter. For me, I don't care for Snivy.
I completely agree.
Honestly, D. Like I think D, bro. Like I don't care for Snivy.
I agree. I put it right at D. So,
all right. So next is Tepig, Josh.
This is another
I'm gonna let you go first.
Here's another one. I'm not really excited. The forms definitely suck, but I definitely think in terms of power. Now, when I did play Black and White in both, I did play Black and White. I didn't really like the game, but Black and White 2, I really did. I would put Tepig. I would put him right behind Mudkip at C tier. Just because again, like, I mean, that final form, it is a little bit of something with the flames and stuff. I never really clicked with this generation a lot. And like the second form, I hated the second form.
Gen 5 games were fantastic. Maybe not the strongest start. Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah, I agree. In terms of gameplay wise, it was really cool. Black 1 and Black 2, like you really connected that storyline and stuff. But I think where that generation really took a hit was their starters. Because you're coming out of Gen 4 and you saw the starters. We literally just talked about Infernape, Torterra, and Empoleon. And then you put this crap. Like starter wise, never really was a fan. But out of the 3 starters in this generation, I would put Tepig the highest. So
really?
Yeah.
I hate Tepig. I think this is probably one of my least favorite after Mudkip. I hate this one.
Oh man,
I hate this one. Like, Tepig and Ebor look cool. I forget what this one's name, but what the heck? What were they thinking here?
yeah,
like really, like, come on. It doesn't even look like a pig. What were they doing here? It looks terrible.
wrestler.
It looks terrible though. That's not even like they've done Incineroar. That looks like a wrestler. What is this? Like, I don't know. I think it looks ugly.
I agree. You can put him at top.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
this is a horrible generation to me. I see the games were fun, but I'm just saying now Oshawott to me is the best water type, but I mean best starter in here. But I'll wait till my turn. Go ahead.
No, I agree. I never really used Oshawott because again, like I only played the games once, and I used Tedpig for all the times. Mm-hmm. But I remember like the shell. I forget what he did with the shell attack and stuff. Like that was pretty cool and stuff. So I mean, I honestly, water does beat fire. So I would put him ahead of Mudkip at C if that's okay with you, or even behind Mudkip. I know we got a lot more Pokemon left, so I know I'll let you.
Yeah, I'm not trying to spend too much time in the Nova. Design wise, I think Oshawott has some redeeming factors. I mean, there's a lot of people who hate Samurai. I get it. I mean, I'm not going to defend it. Okay, but I mean, he's an otter. That's kind of cool, Like Dewott and Oshawott look pretty dope. I think that he has all the shell moves with the blades. They kind of try to do a Sceptile thing here with the blades and all that. But I mean, so yeah, Samurai's kind of boring. I don't know what they were thinking here. Anime wise, Oshawott was that commercialized one for this generation. Like this was the one that they pushed a little bit, like Piplup. And he was like the comedic relief. He always dropped his shell and then picked it up or whatever. I don't remember. I feel like did he evolve his Oshawott? I don't think he did. Wow, Ash sucked in this season, man. Oh my god.
Ash was garbage in this season.
He was horrible. That's 2 starters. That's horrible. Anyway, Tepig was the only one he got evolutionized. But I will put this top D, but I mean it's D, so I don't really care where he's at.
Yeah, top of D is fine. All 3 of these starters I never any of them.
I don't feel strongly enough to be like, oh no, like this has to be it's just like, yeah, like okay, whatever. So next is the Kalos region.
This region wasn't bad. I just didn't like how they just handed you so many Pokemon. Like they handed you a Lucario, and they also hand you another Gen 1 starter.
Yes.
The gameplay.
And then you can catch the legendary as well.
Yeah. It was too easy. Like playing this game, I was like, this is too. I literally beat it in a day.
Yeah.
Like to put it in perspective, I remember in Pokemon Emerald when I caught all the legendaries and stuff, it took me like 2 months because I had to figure out like, oh, I have to talk to the one bull that's by like the space station and stuff. And I had to figure out everything. And then some legendaries I had to catch online. So like that took a long process. So like that's just to put in perspective like where me and you are coming from when it comes to Pokemon games. Like we're used to grinding for it. This game, they just handed you stuff.
They handed you everything.
So easy.
Game. Yeah.
But that being said, I definitely think starter-wise, these 3 starters are better, way better than the Unova region.
Oh yeah.
I mean, in Ash. Oh, we got to get started with Ash's Greninja. We got to put Froakie. I would probably put him at probably bottom S tier, just because again of Ash's Greninja, and I'm a big fan of the water dark type, and again Water Shuriken, so dope. That move is like iconic in the anime, and because in the Unova region, you were missing like that Pokemon spark. Like, you saw like Ash's Chimchar in the Sinnoh region. That's why we put the Chimchar at S tier, because of that Infernape and what happened with Infernape. Ash's Greninja was so dope.
Mm-hmm.
And still to this day, I still question like, what was his power up? Was it Mega Evolution? Like, what was it? Was it like deep?
It was like their bond was so strong
Yeah.
that grow Ash's hair on the side. I don't know, man.
But
no, yeah.
I mean, it's tough because I do love Turtwink, I do love Piplup, but in terms of like overall impact, like that really hit like the next gen for I believe that's Gen 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was like Gen 6, the iconic. I would put Froakie at bottom of Esther. I'm not putting him ahead of
Oh yeah.
the Gen 1 and Chimchar, but
the Cows region was kind of whack when it came to designs, but I mean Greninja's cool. I mean, yeah. I there's a lot of Greninja haters, but they're just like the people who hate Greninja hate Charizard because they just don't like how commercial they are. Get a life. But yeah, like I mean, this was a special case when with anime wise. I mean, like they gave it a special form. Even in the games, they were like, if you pre-order it, you get the special Greninja that Ash had, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like and if we're going to go into pop culture, I mean, Smash Brothers, Smash 4, that Greninja got a spot in there. So I mean, Greninja's cool. The water shuriken's cool. Like this is when they started to give Pokemon like each started like their special original move. I think it started the one before with like Skull Bash or it was something with Samurott with the shells or whatever. But this is but the last region is when they started giving like each starter like one specific move that they can only learn, and that the water shuriken was Froakie's. I think that there was something very it's also important to say that this game was which game was this one?
This was X and Y.
X and Y. This was the first Pokemon game to be in 3D.
Yep.
So it was a big game changer. So I think that's maybe an explanation why it was so easy. But I agree with Gray Hair that Gen 6 was one of the least entertaining. And it's true. Like Josh said earlier, they handed you everything. And I'm like, okay, like they started focusing more on the storyline than the actual gameplay and like the cutscenes and stuff. I'm just like this is cool that's in 3D. I mean, I thought it was cool that you can customize your character. It was the first game you can make your character black, which I was so hype about, by the way. I was like, it's about time.
Yeah, about damn time.
Like,
Jeez.
it was about time. I was like, oh, and I got myself camo pants on. So I'm like, oh, But anyway, we're talking about the Pokemon. Yeah, Froakie. I personally I don't love Froakie, but I think that just the push that it got, like we keep talking about, each generation had that Pokemon. Greninja, even to this day, is like that Pokemon. Like they push Greninja hard when it comes to merchandise and stuff, video games and all that stuff. So yeah, I think even despite how we even feel, like if you're gonna put that in as a factor like we have this entire time, you got to put in at S. Not any higher than that, but I mean bottom S is perfectly fine with me.
I agree.
The other two starters I don't really care about that much, but Fennekin, Josh.
Yeah, Fennekin, the only thing that's really cool with Fennekin is how we had like the previous generations, we saw like that fire fighting type. With Fennekin, we got to see the first fire and psychic type. No, fire and fairy type, because that's when fairy was that new type that was added to the anime and stuff. So we finally got to see like a fire and fairy type. But I mean, and then like the magic wand is pretty cool, or the magic stick that that they use in the second.
It just grows out its tail or whatever. Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool, but in terms of that though, that's pretty much I do like the fox idea, but I definitely think they failed at the end though. Like color wise, they could have added, I think, a little bit more flair, because again, it's like a fire and fairy type. Like, where's the fairy? Like, where is it? So I would definitely rank.
It's not fairy, Josh, by the way. It's psychic. Yeah.
Oh, psychic. Oh,
I never picked Fennekin, so that I slipped with that too. You good?
So, thank you for the save. Yeah, I knew it was fire psychic or fire fair. I forget.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, I would probably put it at C tier. I wouldn't put it at D tier just because I don't like any of them starters, honestly. But I would put it behind Mudkip though.
I don't feel strong enough to care. I mean, I never picked Fennekin at all.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't really care about Delphox's design, but I mean the first two are fine. Like this one looks cool. I mean, yeah, I don't care much about. I don't feel strong enough like how I felt strong about some of these other selections. So
I agree.
TFC. This should be Cynical is too low. It should be S. Yeah, sorry. We will do a fan poll next time, I promise. But all right, so next is Chespin. Josh.
Man. Never. I mean, I do like his form, his starter form, but then you got to pull up the picture for
like what were they doing?
What the hell?
Like what happened here? This is horrible. Like I think this is just like Tepig. I'm like, thank you for like what were they thinking? Like,
oh man,
actually, real quick before you even go on, I just found this picture. Like for real, like I don't get what they were doing here. This is horrible. This is horrible.
Oh, they were trash. Yeah, he's bottom D or even the F tier. Honestly,
it's ugly, man.
I never was a fan. You can call me a hater. I honestly with this gen, I always went with Greninja. So
yeah, F, I'm sorry, F. Like
his form sucks. Jeez, and my. Yeah. See, we're all in agreement.
Thank you. We're good then.
No one ever met a Chespin fan.
That's why when I was saying Snivy, I was like second to last. I hate Chespin. Like I think
Chespin is the worst.
It's horrible, man. I don't even know what is he supposed to be. Like hold on, real quick.
No, what the hell is this?
Like he looks like a chipmunk squirrel thing here, and then I don't know what's going on here, and then it's just like I don't get where did the shell come from?
Yeah, I don't.
It's just very. It's not fun to look at, and I don't even know what it does. I don't care what it does.
I don't care.
The anime, I think he had a chest pin, or did he? I don't know, man. Chespin's trash. Sorry. So, next we are almost done. Wow. So we are going to move to the Pokemon Sun and Moon era. This is the era of Alola, Generation 7. I did not play this game. This is the only Pokemon game I did not play, Sun and Moon.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Wait, real quick. If they don't spend the next 40 minutes hyping up Rally and dropping hate mail, we'll see. Yeah, I did not play this era, but I peeked in with the anime every now and then. I will say, correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, we totally dropped the ball, but real quick, the last gen, real quick for anime standards, because remember this is an anime podcast. That was the generation that Ash won a champ. Well, he almost won a championship.
He should have won. He should have won.
He should have. He got robbed.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So moving on with this one, the Sun and Moon, Josh Rowlet. But as the comments say, I think Rowlet is specifically as of recent one of the more popular grass types.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, you want to talk about him?
Yeah, for me, honestly, I would put Rowlet ahead of Piplup, at least and then I would make a case to put Rowlet top of A, because in terms of grass type, you got the second form sucks. Okay, it's very similar to Turtwink, where you got Rowlet, then you got the final form. I forget. I think it's you're talking
about this one. Oh,
yeah. I have a difficult time pronouncing the final form, but it's the first ghost and grass. Yeah, Deadui. Yeah, it's the first ghost and grass type Pokemon. Dope. I'm telling you right now, and it learns like this spear attack. It's like a ghost spear, like a ghost bow and arrow attack. It's so dope.
Yeah.
So, and again, like that ghost grass combination is definitely dope. I loved it. This honestly is my favorite starter out of the three. I'm not gonna lie. No disrespect to Litten and Incineroar, because that's another dope starter as well. I really like the boxing and the boxing rink and stuff. But I would put Rowlet at top of A. I would. I really like.
Really?
Yeah, I would. Rowlet is definitely dope. I know you didn't play the game, Isaiah, but you really gotta.
Yeah, I'll let you have press this because you played it.
Yeah.
Wow, I would put him in A. I didn't know we were going to put him over these two, but I mean, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, because like in terms of like new Pokemon, like especially what happened in the last gen, like they needed a tough grass starter
Yeah.
because like if you look at Gen 5's grass starter, you have Snivy, then you have Chespin, like back to back grass starters have been trash.
Yeah.
And then you go into this region. Rowlet is definitely dope. I would put Rowlet definitely up there at top of A. I wouldn't put it at S just because, again, like in terms of, I know recently it has been talked about a lot, but even in the anime, I didn't really watch the anime when it came to like Ash because I know he finally won in this region. This was his region where he finally won.
That's when I cut off. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, yeah.
But and it's definitely this region definitely took a lot of heat because traditionally you would go to 8 badges.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, it was island challenges. It was a little bit weird, not gonna lie to you. But Rowlet definitely was my favorite starter out of the 3. But yeah, I would put it at top of A. I love the ghost and grass type. It's dope. And speed wise, Rowlet is so fast too.
Yeah.
And for grass type, they're not really known for being fast other than like Sceptile and Grovyle. So I definitely would put Rowlet right there at top of A. I see why a lot of people love it.
Yeah, this anime wise, this was the first generation where they finally switched animation companies and they started doing like this new like bubbly type like I don't know what studio picked them up. Someone can probably tell me, but yeah, no, out of all 3 of them, I did, like I said, didn't play Sun and Moon, but I remember when Smash Brothers was coming out and people were like, Ultimate, the one that we're on now, and we're used to getting a new Pokemon every generation, and we're like, okay, this is the generation. And it was a big argument. There were the Decidueye fans, and then there was the Incineroar fans, and people were like, Decidueye is like a no-brainer. Like everyone thought that it was going to be Decidueye because we already have Charizard in his final form. We already have Greninja in his final form. We needed that grass starter, and everyone was like, it's going to be Decidueye. Unfortunately, we got Incineroar. Okay, whatever. But not Decidueye, even to pull up the image again, awesome. He looks like a like Archer Robin Hood type thing. Like, I mean, I know you don't like this one, but I see what they were going for. I think it looks okay. I didn't even know it was a ghost type as well. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's so dope. Like that
Spirit Shackle, really?
Yeah,
okay.
Spirit Shackle, yes, that is like dope. That attack is so dope. That's what it's called, Spirit Shackle. It's so dope, dude. You have to after this podcast, if you have some extra free time, definitely pull up your 3DS and give it a try. I'm not gonna lie.
I bought it. I never played it. I bought it recently though, so
okay.
I'll probably do a playthrough. We'll see. Okay, so next is Litten. Yeah, you can talk about him first. Like I said, I didn't play this. I did not play this in this era. So
yeah, Litten's another really good starter, but I wouldn't put him at A tier. I would put him at top of B. He gives me a lot of like Fraligator, like Incineroar gives me a lot of like Fraligator vibes where it's like you have this beast, like offensive, can learn fighting moves. And now he's a fire and dark type, which is really dope. So he can learn Darkest Lab. I forget what that move is called, where he pretty much spins in dark and stuff. And also it is a special attack where he throws people and all of a sudden like a random boxing ring happens and he throws people. And
I'm so mad that these are the moves they do in Smash Brothers.
No, but that's what the moves they do in the game.
That's cool.
The only thing I don't like about Incineroar, I know, like I do like the belt idea. I like where Pokemon was getting, they're trying, but the fact that a flamethrower comes out of the belt, I'm not a fan of that. I don't like
that.
Yeah, I don't. Cool. Yeah, I don't like that because usually with fire starters, like the flamethrower comes out of their mouths. That's what's supposed to happen.
They're trying to be different. Though.
Yeah, and they were trying to be different, and I like the attempt, but I'm not a fan of the flamethrower coming out of the belt. I'm like, it kind of looks a little weird.
Like what was that fire type move? When he bite and it's fire and all that stuff. Fire Fang. Like I remember they even did that with the belt. Like I kind of wish they did that with Smash Brothers because I thought the belt was dope. But I mean, I see your perspective as well.
Yeah, so I would probably put Litten probably right around where Fraligator is because I can't put it ahead of Cyndaquil.
You want to put him in B? He's that good?
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, I would put him at top. I would put him right there, either
Okay.
behind Totodile or right around there. I can't put him ahead of Cyndaquil.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you can tell by my fire starters: Chimchar, Charmander, Chimchar, Torchic, Cyndaquil, and then Litten. Yeah, I agree. I would put him right there at B
All
tier.
right. And I don't know how to pronounce this one.
Oh god.
Popio
Yeah. You don't even have to worry about it. Out of all three of these starters,
looks whack.
now this is the water fairy type, but
That's a weird. See, these are some weird.
yeah. Pull
Type
the design.
combination.
You're gonna laugh at the designs for this one.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Yeah.
See, the last one I don't mind, but what is this?
Yeah, I don't know what they were trying for the, but he's the first water fairy type Pokemon, so it is a little dope. You get to see a water fairy type. But I'm not really a fan. I would probably, just out of respect for the water fairy, and like again, like the final form is cool. You can put him around where
Right here though.
yeah.
Sorry.
So like, where would you put him, Isaiah?
Based off of my knowledge, I don't care about it. And I'm gonna put it in F. But I mean, what do you? How about you? You played the game. I'm gonna just say
I never used it. I never used it.
outside the game. I mean, it didn't have an impact in the anime. It's probably the least known out of all three.
Yeah, you can put it at F.
I just like
ahead of Chespin.
Oh, Chespin needs to be bottom for sure.
Yeah.
But
They're the worst.
I don't know. It's just like the design's not good, other than the final evolution. I think it's the weakest out of all the water types. It's definitely like the wackest one. I'm just like, okay.
Agree.
But yeah. So next, I mean, this is more so like not Ultra Sorry, we just don't care about him.
Yeah, we don't. I'm not a fan. I
me neither.
Again, Rowlet was so good, and also Litten was so good. I don't know how you don't choose them two out of the three.
Yeah.
I don't know how you choose this water type. I'm not even going to attempt pronouncing the name. I don't know how you choose the water type over Rowlet or Litten. You just can't. It's sort of like the Mudkip situation, where like you have Torchic and Trico. How can you not choose? How are you going to choose Mudkip over them? Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, so definitely F tier for that guy. But yeah, as you were saying, like these next two are definitely interesting. I know Pikachu definitely is a starter because of Pokemon
Yellow.
Oh, Yellow, yeah, Pokemon Yellow. Yeah. Thank you. And also Let's Go Pikachu as well.
And Eevee. So I mean, this is a technicality.
Yeah.
I mean, if anyone discredits this and be like, they're not really, then that's completely fine. I hear you as well on that. But technically, Pikachu at least was a starter of one of the Pokemon games. Yes. So I'm fine with Pikachu. Eevee, it's like, okay, whatever. I didn't play Eevee. Let's Go either. I didn't play that. I know you did. I didn't. But yeah, so Pikachu, I mean, what is there to say? I mean, Pikachu is literally the mascot of Pokemon.
Gotta put him at top of S.
What?
Yeah, I mean, he's the mascot of Pokemon. I mean,
I don't care. Like, I mean, like, come on. Like, all right, take that out of the equation. What's your personal opinion on Pikachu?
Yeah, I mean, because in the games where he is a starter, he doesn't evolve because he doesn't.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said what. Like, I'm like,
yeah, and I mean, Raichu is okay. Like, I mean, now they did add the new electric and psychic type. That I think that's really cool. Yeah. But like Pikachu's always been a high speed, high offensive guy. In terms of defense, absolute trash. All you gotta do is hit Pikachu with a powerful like offensive move, and you're screwed. So I mean, Pikachu speed wise is definitely dope though. Raichu, I like Raichu. I love the colors. I've always been a Raichu guy. Because I mean, I'm biased though. Orange is my favorite color.
Like Alolan Raichu more or regular?
I like regular.
Okay.
I mean, I do respect the attempt though for the Aloha region Raichu though. Like the fact that Raichu can like fly and like levitate on its tail.
Yeah, cool.
It's pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie. But in terms of starters, I mean, Pikachu though, he is when you think of Pokemon, you think of Pikachu. I literally have a Pikachu soundbite. Like, I mean,
I get it. Like, I don't.
Where would you put him?
I mean, it's just like one, you can't make it evolve unless you get a Thunderstone, and it's just like what I'm going to use Pikachu this entire time. Like, come on. Now, I mean, game wise, it was fine to play against like a red, for example, or like I didn't really use Pikachu as much when I was playing the game, but I mean, I did like the fact that he could follow you. Like that was dope as well. Um, and even in anime stance, I remember like OG like season 1 Pokemon when there was like a Raichu, and actually in Diamond and Pearl, there was a Raichu that would like bully Pikachu and pushed him to his limits and also. So I mean, we could talk about Pikachu in the anime stance and merchandise and all that for days, Smash Bros, all that. But as a starter, I mean, I think what's stopping me from putting him top S is that I really don't see him as a starter, but like I'm gonna follow through with it. So I mean, yeah, top S. I'm actually down for that because of what we agreed to. But like, like I feel like I'm
Yeah.
cheating here. Like,
Well, I know we can put for this list though. Like this is based off like again Pikachu and Eevee. They're not technically like the typical starters that you see, so we can put them as like a special category if you want.
Okay.
But yeah, and another one, this one, perfect transition. Eevee, so many evolutions.
Yeah.
I actually did not get the chance to play Let's Go Eevee, but I have on every Pokemon game that I have tried to catch Eevee in every single game because again, depending on what team you have, like if you have a water type starter, you want to get either Jolteon or you can get someone that can complement the water type, like one of the water type weaknesses. And Eevee really took that next step when the new forms were added, Sylveon, Espeon.
I'm pulling it up right now, but yeah.
But yeah, like that's where Eevee really took the next step. Because I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, Vaporeon was okay. they have Empoleon as a picture.
Oh, ignore. All right, listen, ignore Empoleon and ignore the obvious.
Yeah.
Let me find a better picture.
No, you're good. No, you're good. But I mean, like Vaporeon was definitely dope. Jolteon was okay, and then Flareon was okay. But like Eevee really took the next steps where Espeon and I know I see him right there, Leafeon and all of them. That's where Eevee really took the next step for me. Like the added updated forms, so OP. I love Sylveon the best. The fairy type. Oh my goodness! And on Pokemon Sword and Shield, I have a Sylveon. Out of all the forms, I love the fairy type the best. Once you learn Moonblast, such a cheat code. Such a cheat code.
I love Umbreon and Glaceon. Like Eevee is awesome. I don't know how it works in Let's Go Eevee, so I don't know if there's restrictions, but I think Eevee's so fun as a Pokemon, even taking out the starter conversation, is because it just fits in any gaps that you're missing. Like if you needed something specific and like you're like, oh, I have this Eevee, like I can evolve it and then train it. Like let's say like you have a bunch of you're at the beginning, you have everything you need. You're like, oh shoot, I don't have a good fire starter yet. Oh wait, let me get a Firestone. I can get a Flareon. Oh, let me get a Leafeon. Like it's very convenient. I remember even when I was younger, before Sylveon was a thing, I was like, when are they going to make more like types? Like I'm like, they can make a flying type Eevee or like ghost type Eevee or something. I'm like, what are they going to do? Yeah, and they decided to do fairy because that was a new type that they created, so it was cool. I'm surprised they did. I thought Sylveon was going to be like a legendary for a second at one point.
Yeah,
but nah,
so good. It's so dope because
sure.
Yeah, because with fairy types, you get a lot of like high special defense and high. That's like their highest is special defense. Now, speed wise, you do take a hit.
Yeah,
but that special defense is so critical in battle. Like it can really beat any attack. That's what makes Umbreon so good too. Like I remember I used to like hit Umbreon with like my fastest like fighting move and it wouldn't die. I'm like, God dang, like how many fighting moves I need to hit to kill you? Like
the annoying part was you always had to do it at nighttime to make him evolve. So it's like, oh, like I gotta wait all day. But no, yeah, he's dope. Like I said, I don't know how he works in Let's Go Eevee, so I don't know if there's restrictions, but if we're going to just base it as a Pokemon as we know it, it's a no-brainer that Eevee is going to be up there.
Yeah, you got to put it in S tier.
Yeah, like
Well,
Eevee and Tyrogue. Well, where are we putting? Like behind Bulbasaur, I guess. Like,
yeah, we can.
Eevee and Tyrogue were always my favorite because I love the fact that you can have a Pokemon that can turn to more than like one thing. I was like,
Yeah.
ooh, Hitmonlee or Hitmonchan. Ooh, and then Eevee got all the options. I'm like, okay.
So, all right, we got our final three, Isaiah.
Final three, the newest ones as of today. You got a Grookey, you got Scores Bunny, and then you got Sobble. And this is Generation 8. This is, I'm trying to think of the name of their generation. Wow. Anyway, whatever the name of the generation is. But no, honestly, I remember when they first came out and I was like, I don't know how I feel about them. But as time has passed, they've grown on me. Like I like Sword and Shield. I mean, all right, take away obviously the people feeling like, oh, like all the Pokemon aren't there and like they lied to us and all that. Put that aside, just look at these three starters. These are some great starters in my opinion. I think it was a step in the right direction because yeah, Sobble is another lizard, so okay, whatever. But we haven't had a monkey starter yet. Like, we've had monkey Pokemon, but not monkey starters. We haven't had a bunny starter yet. So it's like finally we're like moving back in the direction of like original looking Pokemon, because honestly the last three gens beforehand, there was not a lot of originality going there. So it was really cool to see these three come, and especially in the first like free roam Pokemon game at that. I thought that was so dope. But yeah, we could just start off with Grookey, Josh. How do you feel? Oh, my bad. How do you feel about Grookey?
I think honestly, all three of these Pokemon design wise, I feel I like it design wise, except the water type one. But I like the idea of the drums. I like that idea, and you get to see like as like the Pokemon progresses, you get to see like the full drum set by the final form and stuff. But I will say I wish that they would have added another type to them. Cause like again, like you went back to that original grass, fire, water. Whereas like I really like the dual types. I do. I'm a dual type guy. But I think overall though, all three of these, I think this is the one generation where you could put all three of these in like the same category.
I agree.
So I'm thinking either B tier or C tier for these guys, just because again, like not having that dual type. It hurts me a little bit, but I definitely think design wise, though, I really like the designs and just like you said, like the originality of it, and the fact that this is the first ever Pokemon Switch game, and like you got to see so much with this new game where you got to see Pikachu and Eevee were the first games on the Switch, but this is like the first
Complete
new original Pokemon game where you got to see you get to go to what's that area called? You can do max raid battles. You can do you get
Isle of Armor.
the Isle of Armor, and then also the other map
The
part.
wild area.
Yeah, the wild area was absolutely crazy. So like and I'm not gonna lie to you, all three of these starters I bought Sword and Shield like I was crazy. So like I don't mind it. I honestly think, I mean, these starters, they don't wow me, but I also like they're not bad either. So I'm thinking either
We could probably rank them all three at the same time then, honestly, because I
agree.
like I like all of them, honestly. Like especially Scores Bunny. I've only played the game once.
Yeah.
And I got Sobble when I did that. And honestly, best decision ever. He's a beast. But Scores Bunny looks so dope as well. Like oh my gosh, like the rabbit, and then I just like I like it. So but yeah, I think
and also my fault. And also all the moves are original as well.
Exactly.
Like Sobble, you got to see the finger pistol.
Snipe shot. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but I was thinking of One Piece finger pistol. And then Score Bunny with the pyro ball. And
I
then,
like the soccer reference with that too.
Yeah,
Like, I thought that was so dope.
Yeah, and then the grass type one with the drums.
Drums, yeah.
So yeah, like I like it. It's original. It's different. Like it's something that you really haven't seen. Like I agree with all the points that you made. So I mean, I honestly would put all three. I'll put them probably right at B tier. Honestly,
I agree. I was gonna say the same thing.
Now,
Honestly,
like,
top of B, in my opinion.
I agree. Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
they definitely grew on me. Now, where would you like to? Do you think Score Bunnies is the
I think
top one
Scores
out?
Bunny's dope. Yeah, like I said, I didn't pick him, but like, oh, he looks so cool. Um, maybe Grookey second. I don't care about his second evolution that much. I think it's
Yeah,
kind of
I
bad,
agree.
but the first and second are really dope. So probably Grookey and then Sabo can be last. I think Sabo is the best to play with, but looks wise, it's just like I've
Yeah,
seen the frog done way better.
agreed.
Literally Froakie,
Yep.
like we've seen the frog be done way better. So yeah, I mean that's our ranking. Wow, that was fun. This is our longest anime club podcast, but
Well,
I
of course, we all knew it was Pokemon. We really had to get into it.
I enjoyed doing this one. I mean, Pikachu technically top, but if you don't count Pikachu and Eevee, Squirtle is king of starters over here. Uh, and
Yeah,
Chespin sucks. So,
yeah. Blastoise is so slept on.
oh yeah.
Like such a defensive Pokemon, and the idea again of like the cannons coming out of the shell.
Hmm.
Big fan. So my last question to you, so we can wrap this up. I noticed it's been taking a little bit
Yeah.
longer than usual.
Yeah.
Now this is this is gonna be a tough question, but what is your favorite Pokemon and why?
I love so many Pokemon. I love Miss Drevis. I love Hitmonlee. But my favorite is probably Ambipom. I think Ambipom looks really cool. I think Apom as a first stage Pokemon is so cool with the tail. Even in the anime, like Apom was Ash's partner for a while, and then it became Dawn's, and it started doing the shows and everything. Apom is so cool. I think, uh, I think it's cool. It smiles all the time. I love the color purple. It's fun to use as well. I like normal types. Shockingly, so Ambipom, that's mine. But how about you?
Oh, for me, I got to go Garchomp. Oh man, that
Yeah,
is
yeah,
iconic. Dragon Rush, such a cheat code. I love Gabite. You have like the short little Gabite thing, and then all of a sudden it evolves into Gibble, Gabite, and then it's Garchomp. And then with
yeah.
Garchomp, man, you can learn Earthquake. I love Earth. As you guys can tell,
Aerial Ace.
yes, literally
It doesn't
aerial.
even fly, and it can do
I
aerial
know,
Ace. I'm like, what?
such a
Yeah.
cheat code. But yeah, that's my
Scizor is
favorite
cool
Pokemon.
too, by the way. Scissor. Ooh. Anyway,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
I'm gonna start going crazy. But
so many,
yeah.
so many.
So yeah, this was Anime Club episode 5. Yeah, this was awesome. And this is probably my favorite one so far. That was great. We should be back next week to be talking Death Note with Noah. So that's gonna be fun. We might have Cheyenne join us as well. But Josh, yeah, where can people find you?
You guys can follow me on Twitch at swoop_RD_. I do a lot of sports stuff. I'm actually live streaming the Sixers Bucks game tomorrow night. Should be fun. I have live betting as well. And also you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at SANN_CHEZZ. I know it's a little bit complicated, but I talk anime, talk sports, do podcasts about whatever. So that's where you guys can follow me. I do post new sports podcasts every Friday at 12 p.m. So for this week, I'm going to do March Madness. I'm going to do like my live March Madness bracket right before the game starts. So I'll probably do the live stream tomorrow as well. We'll see. But that's where everyone can find me. Isaiah, where can everybody find you?
They can find me at my apps right here, 8 Ball Bangers, literally number 8 in the Ball Bangers. We are going to be continuing with all of the coverage that we are doing currently. If you missed it today, we had Circle coverage, Celebrity Circle UK closed out with Carrie and Leandro, so you can go check that out, as well as Sarah and Sean. They spoke about what's been going on in the world of Big Brother Canada feeds and that mess over there. It's kind of hectic. But as well as tomorrow, I should be here with Abby. Just me, Abby, and possibly a guest, but it's gonna be me, Abby. We're gonna be talking about tonight's episode of Temptation Island. I have not watched yet, but I've heard a lot of stuff, so I'm very excited to talk about that. As well as on Friday, you should be talking with Sarah, Ganjo, Cheyenne, and Jeanette while they are recapping this week of Big Brother Canada as the episodes, as we see the third person get eliminated this week. Join us back on Monday, and I will be with Lance this time because Sabrina's going to be out of town, so I'm going to be with Lance, and I'm going to have another guest, and we'll be talking about Total Drama Island episode 11 and 12, and then we're going to see Lance's reaction on that, and then you should be revisiting us here. Talking about Death Note with Noah and Cheyenne, and they'll be joining me and Josh. So very excited. Got some more shows, shockingly. Yeah, we have more shows to be revealing. Like, we're going to be talking about RuPaul's Drag Race. I'm going to have some people talking about that, as well as we're going to be doing an I Love Money rewatch. We're going to be covering the Challenge All Stars that got announced for April 1st today. We're going to be covering a lot of stuff, so there's a lot more content to be coming on the horizon. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube, and if you're watching this on Twitch, please follow our page. Every little bit helps. Follow the Anime Club's Twitter, as well as check out the website that will be in the description below, and also listen to it on Spotify and anywhere else that it's streaming. But yeah, that is all that we have for the Anime Club tonight. Thank you for everyone who was in the chat hanging out with us. I know it's 2 a.m. and it's late, but you guys made this very fun, and have a good night, everybody.
Have a good one.